Part 208. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2071. Chapter 2071. Is he really afraid that his wife will misunderstand? She didn't believe that it was the little girl who asked for a private marriage. A newcomer in the entertainment industry, whose family does not have a good background, being able to marry Moyesi is like a sparrow flying on a branch and turning into a phoenix, reaching the sky in one step. In this case, she really wanted to let the whole world know that she married into the Mo family. Can you still request that it not be made public? These words are enough to coax others. She wouldn't believe it. However, just when she was thinking this, her cell phone rang. A news feed popped up. The woman took out her mobile phone and looked down. After a few seconds, she opened her eyes wide and stared at the news feed on the screen of her mobile phone again and again, her face turning pale a little bit. The rich daughter is back. Xiao Mian, a newcomer in the entertainment industry, has transformed into the daughter of the Bai family who has been living abroad for many years. The woman's face was full of disbelief. After she clicked on the news and read the details, her face became paler. A second ago, she thought that a newcomer in the entertainment industry who was determined to be impossible to marry into the Mo family because of her poor family background was actually the daughter of the Bai family. How could that newcomer in the entertainment industry with no family background suddenly become the daughter of the Bai family? If she were the daughter of the Bai family, then it is not surprising that she can marry into the Mo family. When the woman saw the news, she felt shocked at first, then disappointed, and then she became scared. She was afraid that Xiao Mian would really let her boss fire her. Mo CEO's wife wanted to fire a small employee. Of course, her boss would not offend someone for her sake. Assistant Yang, what are you doing standing here? Suddenly a voice sounded from behind, startling the woman who was immersed in fear. The woman turned around and saw Wei Zheng standing behind her. She reached out and patted her chest. Assistant Wei, it's you. You walked without making any sound. It scared me. Wei Zheng looked at her. What do you mean he walks without making a sound? It's obvious that she is thinking too deeply about things, right? The woman was startled by Wei Zheng. When she recovered, she immediately looked behind Wei Zheng. Not seeing the person she wanted to see, a trace of disappointment flashed in her eyes, and then she said, Assistant Wei, hasn't Mr. Mo come back yet? Wei Zheng has been with Moyesi for so many years and has met many women who have thoughts about Moyesi. He could naturally tell what the woman in front of him was thinking about his boss at a glance. Remembering what Moyesi had told him again, he narrowed his eyes, covered his lips and coughed lightly, then a serious expression appeared on his face. Mr. Mo still has something to do. Assistant Yang, Mr. Mo said, from now on I will handle all the cooperation matters, so if you have any questions, don't go to him again. If you have anything, just tell me directly. It doesn't matter whether Mr. Mo is in the company or not. The expression on the woman's face froze and she clenched her fists. She called Moyesi last night, and today, he refused to see her again. Is he really afraid that his wife will misunderstand? Does he care about his wife that much? But, what I want to discuss can only be discussed with Mr. Mo. The woman pursed her lips, and her tone was a bit forceful when speaking to Wei Zheng. It's not that I don't believe in Assistant Wei's ability, it's just that there are some things that I'm afraid Assistant Wei will do not handled well. This cooperation is very important to both our companies, and I only believe in Mr. Mo's ability. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2072. Chapter 2072. He doesn't care about stupid people. Wei Zheng. What the hum? He has been with Moyesi for so many years, and this is the first time that someone has questioned his ability to work face to face. Say he can't do it? He was so angry that he had all kinds of slanderous words coming to his mouth. He thought about it, and finally endured it forcefully. Damn it, forget it, he doesn't care about it like a fool. But he definitely couldn't bear this tone. Wei Zheng took a deep breath. He originally felt that some things were too direct to say, but now he felt that there was no need to save any face for the other party. Assistant Yang, aren't you clear yet? Wei Zheng's tone became much colder. The woman was stunned. What do you know? Wei Zheng resisted the urge to roll his eyes. Mr. Mo didn't want to see you at all, so he left everything to me. Assistant Yang, Mr. Mo is already married. The young lady is as beautiful as a flower, gentle and kind. Mo, I always like her very much. We, Mr. Mo, are the ones who care about the young lady the most. The young lady is like a treasure to him and he is always doting on her. Seeing the woman's face turning stiff, Wei Zheng continued to say expressionlessly, we, Mr. Mo, are afraid that some of Assistant Yang's actions will misunderstand the young lady, and we will never see Assistant Yang again in the future. If you think I am not capable, if you don't want to talk to me, I think your company can arrange someone else who is willing to talk to me. After finishing speaking, Wei Zheng ignored her and entered the elevator directly. The woman was left standing outside with a stiff expression, motionless for a long time. Asterisk. After Chiao Mian walked into Mo Yesi's office, she walked directly to his desk and sat down. She usually waits for Mo Yesi in the office, usually sitting on the sofa and playing with her mobile phone while waiting. She never paid much attention to what was placed on Mo Yesi's desk. So when she saw a photo frame on the table with a photo of her in it, she was stunned. In the photo frame is a selfie of her. It was still a selfie she once posted on Weibo. Mo Yesi actually printed it into a photo, put it in a photo frame and put it on his desk. This was not the only thing that surprised Chiao Mian. She found that there was a stack of drawing paper on Mo Yesi's desk. On the drawing paper, a ring was drawn. It was a simple and attractive diamond ring. Chiao Mian picked up the drawing paper and looked at it, with doubts in her eyes. This is, painted by Mo Yesi? Mo Yesi also designs jewelry? Chiao Mian remembered that Mo Yesi had said before that he knew a lot of things, many of which she didn't know yet. If this was painted by Mo Yesi, then he is indeed versatile enough. Chiao Mian fell in love with the diamond ring he designed on the drawing paper at first sight. She thought that if the diamond ring in the drawing paper could be turned into a real thing, it would be very beautiful. Mo's family does have a jewelry company. Chiao Mian thought that Mo Yesi might also be involved in the company's jewelry design. This ring was probably a new product designed by him. Although the finished product has not yet come out, she feels that this style will definitely sell well. There was more than just one diamond ring on the drawing paper. Chiao Mian looked through it and found that Mo Yesi had designed more than 10 styles. And every style is very beautiful. Not inferior to those professional jewelry designers at all. Perhaps beauty is in the eye of the beholder. She feels that the jewelry designed by Mo Yesi is comparable to some so-called international masters. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2073. Chapter 2073. Everything comes at a price. She seems to have really married a decathlon husband. She was thinking, is there anything else that Mo Yesi can't do? Chiao Mian studied the things on Mo Yesi's desk for a while. Just when she picked up her phone to check the time, the screen suddenly lit up, and an unfamiliar number also flashed. The phone rang for a while and Chiao Mian picked it up. As soon as the call was connected, an angry voice rang out, Chiao Mian, you are too cruel. How could you do this to me? You were the one who asked people to post those dirty things on Weibo, right? Do you know that you will destroy me if you do this? Xiao Mian, how can you be so cruel, how can you be so cruel? You vicious woman. It was Xiao Angzhen calling. Xiao Mian only felt funny when he heard her angry questioning. Am I vicious? Xiao Mian couldn't help laughing, and said with a hint of coldness in her eyes, Xiao Angzhen, anyone can say such things, but you are not qualified. You know what you did to me, it's just that you're doing the first grade and I'm doing the 15th grade. It's all your own fault that you're in this situation. The person who destroys you is not me, but yourself. After Xiao Mian finished speaking, Xiao Angzhen was silent for a few seconds. Yes, Xiao Mian, I admit that I bought your hot search this time. But just because I did something that has no impact on you at all, are you going to kill me? Even if I made a mistake, the mistake I made is not very serious. But now you are trying to kill me, aren't you cruel enough? Actually, you have wanted to do this for a long time. You promised Dad hypocritically before that you would not embarrass me again. Xiao Mian, you are so disgusting. Xiao Angzhen seemed to be extremely angry, gritting her teeth. After hearing her words, Xiao Mian laughed angrily. You think the things you did have no impact on me, that's because I found a way to solve it. If I were just a newbie in the entertainment industry without any background ability, do you still think that your dirty information has no impact on me? Xiao Angzhen, it's not that I want to kill you. I'm just repaying you with tooth for tooth, and returning to you the things you did to me in the same way. I promised Dad that I won't embarrass you anymore, but that's under the condition that you won't mess with me again. You hide behind my back and do these things to me again and again, and you still expect me to not care at all? Do you think I am stupid, or do you think that no one will find out what you do, so you are so unscrupulous? It's because of Dad that I put up with you again and again, otherwise, do you think I would settle the score with you now? What again and again? I only did it this once. Xiao Angzhen's tone was a little flustered. Xiao Angzhen, do you really think that no one can find out the things you have done? Xiao Mian didn't want to talk nonsense with her anymore. There is nothing to talk about between us. In the past, I did it just for Dad's sake. I didn't want to make Dad sad, so I let you go. But now, I won't be merciful to you anymore. Xiao Mian, what do you mean? Xiao Angzhen, everything has to pay a price. Everything you encounter now is the punishment you deserve. From now on, I will no longer show mercy to you. After Xiao Mian finished speaking, he hung up, got the phone. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2074. Chapter 2074. I wish I could kill her. Asterisk. The other side. Hearing the disconnection sound on his cell phone, Xiao Angzhen shouted frantically, Xiao Mian, why do you treat me like this, you vicious woman? You ruined me, and I won't let you have it easy. Bitch, bitch. Xiao Mian, I hate you. Ah, bitch, bitch. Xiao Angzhen smashed the phone against the wall, squatted on the ground holding her head and screamed. Xiao Mian, bitch, you bitch. An xin, what's wrong with you? Outside the door, Lin Huijin heard the movement in the bedroom, opened the door and hurriedly rushed into the room. She was frightened when she saw Xiao Angzhen squatting on the ground, breathing rapidly, her face turning pale. An Angzhen, what's wrong with you? Don't scare Mom. Lin Huijin also squatted down and reached out to help Xiao Angzhen up. Mom, I hate Xiao Mian, I hate her so much. Xiao Angzhen raised her head, grabbed Lin Huijin's arm tightly, and said with a ferocious expression on her face, I really hate her. Why doesn't she die? Why does a like her still live in this world? An xin, what are you talking about? Lin Huijin hurriedly reached out to cover her mouth, turned her head and looked behind her, and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when she saw no one else standing outside the door. She helped Jiao Angzhen up from the ground, turned around and closed the door. Then he went back and lowered his voice, "Xin, this is at home. It would be bad if your dad heard what you just said." "What if he hears it?" Jiao Angzhen bit her lips and said with a fierce expression, "Jiao Mian is not his biological daughter, and now she is recognized by the Bai family, so she doesn't take him seriously at all. She is his biological daughter. Why would he want to quarrel with his own daughter over someone who is not related to him by blood?" Lin Huijin was stunned for a moment, and a strange color flashed across her eyes. "Then you should pay attention. Your dad still loves her in his heart, and he will definitely be unhappy if he hears you say that." "Xin, what happened? What you did just now really scared Mom." Mom Jiao Angzhen took a deep breath and said with hatred in her eyes, "That Jiao Mian ruined me. She found someone to release dirty information about me, and now she hired someone to smear me all over the internet. Why do you still hang out in the circle? She just wants to kill me. I hate this so much now, I want to kill her." Lin Huijin's expression changed and she immediately asked, "You said Jiao Mian found someone to put your dirty information on the internet?" "That's right, this just wants to kill me." "Did those black materials have a great impact on you?" Jiao Angzhen is now Lin Huijin's main source of income, and Lin Huijin has always been very concerned about her career development. Hearing her say that, he immediately became nervous. "It doesn't have a big impact." Jiao Angzhen gritted her teeth, "Maybe I won't be able to stay in this circle in the future." "Is it so serious?" Lin Huijin opened her eyes wide and turned a little pale. "Then what will you do in the future? You will no longer be able to work in this circle. That Jiao Mian will not let me go. She will definitely deal with me harder. She now has Mo Yesi to support her and the Bai family to support her. I am no match for her at all." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2075. Chapter 2075. I will never bow to her again even if I die. Jiao Angzhen said this with strong jealousy and unwillingness in her eyes. She felt that God must not have eyes. Otherwise, why would he be so nice to that little Jiao Mian? Giving a man as good as Mo Yesi is enough to make people envious and jealous. He actually gave her such a good background. It was obvious that they all grew up in the Jiao family, it was obvious that they all had the same background, and it was obvious that Jiao Mian had already lost to her. But now, why is she the one who loses? Why, Jiao Mian suddenly became what others call a winner in life. Now Jiao Mian is better than her in everything. Just being the daughter of the Bai family is something she will find difficult to surpass in her life. She is not convinced, she really is not convinced. God is that biased little bitch. Lin Huijin was stunned for a while, her face turned a little green. Okay, why did she suddenly become like this? Lin Huijin's first thought was not that her daughter's future would be damaged. What she thought of was that if Jiao Angzhen could no longer stay in the entertainment industry, then she would definitely not be able to make any more money in the future. Money. If Jiao Angzhen can't make money, what should she do? Can she still maintain her current life? Father Jiao's company can no longer make much money, and if his daughter, the only one who makes money, can't make any money either. When she thought about the miserable life she would have without money in the future, Lin Huijin suddenly panicked. How do I know? That just doesn't like me and wants to kill me. Jiao Angzhen didn't tell her what she did to Jiao Mian. She must be remembering what happened in the past. Lin Huijin helped analyze for a while and said with a frown. Mom, what should I do now? Jiao Angzhen said bitterly, that wants to kill me. I don't want to leave the entertainment industry. If I leave the entertainment industry, what will I do in the future? What else can I do? Mom, please help me think of a way. No matter what, I can't leave the entertainment industry. Chiao Angzhen grabbed Lin Huijin's shoulders and said emotionally. "An Xian, please calm down." Lin Huijin was so shaken that she felt dizzy. She quickly held her down and said, "Don't worry, Mom will definitely help you find a solution. This matter is not difficult to solve." Chiao Angzhen was stunned for a moment, let go of her hand, and her eyes suddenly lit up. "Mom, can you help me in any way?" Lin Huijin nodded and said, "In a few days, it will be your father's birthday. By then, Chiao Mian will definitely come back. She has always listened to your father's words. If your father is asked to intercede on this matter, she should. It works. If you just soften up and say something nice to her, she won't make things difficult for you anymore." "Mom, do you mean to ask me to bow my head to Chiao Mian?" Chiao Angzhen's voice became sharp and her reaction was loud. "There is no way I will bow my head to this again." "Don't worry." Lin Huijin's face darkened, and then she persuaded patiently and gently, "You also know that Chiao Mian is not something we can deal with now. If you don't bow to her, do you want to leave the entertainment industry? With your career prospects, in comparison, temporary face is nothing. As long as Chiao Mian promises not to embarrass you anymore, it doesn't matter if he just bows his head and apologizes." "No, I don't want it." Chiao Angzhen pushed Lin Huijin away and gritted her teeth. "There is no way I can ever apologize to this again. I will never bow to her again." "You want me to apologize to her? You might as well kill me." I went to bed. I have another chapter that I wrote in the morning and will update later. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2076. Chapter 2076. Tell me, which one do you like best? Then your career prospects are all gone. Lin Huijin was furious. "I will find a way myself." Chiao Angzhen suddenly thought of someone, and her eyes lit up again. "What can you do?" "Don't worry, just listen to me, then." "Mom, I have something else to do. I have to go out right away. I won't be back for dinner at night, so you and Dad don't have to wait for me." Chiao Angzhen didn't wait for Lin Huijin to finish her words, stretched out her hand to push her away, and hurriedly walked out of the room. "Peace of mind, peace of mind." Lin Huijin called her from behind, watching her walk out of the bedroom without looking back, stamping her feet angrily. Asterisk. After Chiao Mian waited for more than half an hour, Mo Yesi finally came back. The man walked up to her, stretched out his hand and pulled her into his arms, hugged her and lowered his head for a kiss. "I'm sorry, honey, something happened at the moment, so I made you wait a little longer. Are you bored of waiting?" Chiao Mian chuckled and said, "It's not boring at all. While waiting for you, I discovered some very interesting things." The man raised his eyebrows slightly and raised his thin lips slightly. "Did you find anything interesting?" This Chiao Mian pushed him gently, stepped away from his arms, walked to the desk, and picked up the stack of drawing paper. "Mo Yesi, did you draw this?" Mo Yesi glanced at the album in her hand, raised his lips, and walked to her side. "Well, I drew it. What do you think?" "I think it's pretty good." Chiao Mian looked at the handsome and versatile husband beside her and praised without hesitation, "Not inferior to professional jewelry designers at all. This is what you give to Mo's Jewelry Company. Are you designing new products for next season? You didn't even tell me that you also design jewelry. Isn't it true that you design a lot of jewelry in Mo's jewelry stores?" Mo Yesi didn't answer her question, but took the picture album from her hand. After flipping through a few pages, he asked her, "Have you finished reading this picture album? Which ring do you think is the most beautiful, like? I think they all look pretty. There must be one that you like best, right?" Mo Yesi handed her the album. Tell me, which one do you like best? Chiao Mian thought he wanted to listen to her opinion. This is also normal. These jewelry pieces designed by Mo Yesi are all for women. Since the jewelry is designed for female consumers, it is of course normal to ask her for her opinion. Chiao Mian looked through the album carefully, and then with great difficulty picked out the one she liked the most. The reason why it was difficult to choose was because she thought all the styles were pretty, but it was a bit difficult to choose the one that she thought looked best. Mo Yesi looked at the diamond ring she picked out. The man's dark eyes looked at her, with a gentle light shining in his eyes. Do you like this one? Chiao Mian nodded. Actually, I think every one is beautiful, but personally, I like this one the best. Well, I have a good vision. It seems that we all have the same vision. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment. Ah. Mo Yesi smiled. I also think this one is the most suitable for you. Since you also like this one the best, let's make it a decision. Decided. Chiao Mian was stunned again, her expression a little confused. Decided for what? Of course I have chosen this ring as your wedding ring. Wedding ring. The expression on Chiao Mian's face became even more confused. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2077. Chapter 2077. A unique treasure in the world. Well, a wedding ring. Aren't these jewelry you designed for the company? Mo Yesi smiled and reached out to rub her head. Who told you that I designed for the company? The company has its own designers, so I don't need to worry about these things myself. Then these rings in this album. Chiao Mian blinked and looked at him with wide eyes. Are they all wedding rings designed for me? If it wasn't for you, why would I bother with all this? Mo Yesi put her confused face into his arms and gently pinched her nose. Before the wedding, these things must be prepared. I owe you. I will supply you with everything. I want to design our wedding ring myself, baby. This is the wedding ring I designed for you. It will be unique in the world. Chiao Mian looked at him blankly, and blinked in emotion. Husband. She shouted softly, stretched out her hand to hook Mo Yesi's neck, rubbed her head gently on his chest, and said in a soft voice, Husband, you are so kind to me. But, you designed a unique design for me in the world. Ring, what should I do for you? I don't seem to know anything. She felt that Mo Yesi was at a loss. He is such an excellent man, but he has found a not so excellent wife. He is a decathlete. But she can't do anything. Mo Yesi's Adam's apple rolled and he laughed softly. You don't have to do anything. Baby, you have given me a precious gift that is unique in the world. I gave you a gift. What did I give? Why didn't she even know it? The man lowered his head. His deep black eyes seemed to be filled with thick ink that could not be removed. The affection and doting in his eyes made Chiao Mian's heart beat faster. She heard him whisper in her ear word by word in a low and affectionate voice, My baby is the only treasure in the world. With you, I am the happiest man in the world. You gave me the best and most precious thing in the world, and gave me the best wife in the world, so, you don't have to do anything else for me. What you do is enough. I am satisfied. Mo Yesi, you. Chiao Mian was dumbfounded. Unexpectedly, the precious gift he said was unique in the world would be her. Baby, as long as you stay by my side and stay with me all the time. This is the best feedback for me. Mo Yesi raised her chin and kissed the corner of her lips. Others, I don't care. It's not needed anymore. A long kiss ended. Chiao Mian's cheeks were flushed, and she leaned against his chest while panting slightly. Yan Xiao'er made an appointment for a dinner tonight and said he would treat us to dinner. Do you want to go? Mo Yesi's eyes darkened and his voice was hoarse when he spoke. Chiao Mian gasped for a while, and then her breath gradually calmed down. Young master, do you want to treat me? Go ahead, I haven't seen him for a while. Well, let me tell him. Mo Yesi said, took out his mobile phone and called Yan Xiaoqing. Your sister-in-law and I will go there tonight, and we are not allowed to bring any messy people. Well, hang up. Remember, don't bring your messy women there. Mo Yesi quickly hung up the phone. He looked at Jiao Mian. Yan Xiao'er has booked the place. It may take us more than 40 minutes, but we can leave now. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2078. Chapter 2078, Don't let her come up again in the future. Jiao Mian nodded, then let's go there now. Asterisk. The two of them walked out of the office hand in hand. While waiting for the elevator next to me stopped, the elevator door opened, and a woman walked out. Jiao Mian was stunned for a moment when she saw the woman coming out of the elevator. Mo Yesi's face darkened. Mr. Mo. The woman saw him and walked towards him quickly. Mr. Mo, are you going out now? I have a plan here that you must check out in person. When the woman saw Mo Yesi, her eyes lit up, and there was a bit of excitement on her face when she spoke. But when she saw Mo Yesi and Jiao Mian holding hands tightly together, she frowned and pursed her lips unhappily. It's like seeing your husband holding his mistress. She completely forgot that they were the legal couple and she was just an irrelevant person. Mo Yesi interrupted the woman in a cold voice, who asked you to come up? Wei Zheng didn't tell you that you will have to deal with him for everything in the future, so there is no need to come to me again. The woman was stunned for a moment, and when she met his cold gaze, her heart thumped, and she felt a little panicked for no reason. She opened her mouth and wanted to explain, Mr. Mo, Mr. Mo. A somewhat panicked voice came from behind. Jiao Mian turned around and saw Wei Zheng trotting over in a panic. After Wei Zheng came over, he saw the woman standing at the entrance of the elevator, and his expression changed. Why are you up here? Didn't I tell you that Mr. Mo said I would never see you again in the future? Didn't you understand? After scolding the woman, he immediately turned around and hurriedly explained to Mo Yesi, Mr. Mo, I told Assistant Yang not to come to you again. I don't know why she still came here. Mo Yesi said with a cold face, if this happens again, you won't have to come to work again. Take the person out now. Wei Zheng's expression changed and he said in fear, yes, Mr. Mo, I promise not to let something like this happen again. Opposite. The woman heard their conversation and her face froze. She squeezed the document in her hand and said with a hurt look on her face, Mr. Mo. Mo Yesi didn't even look at her and said coldly, Wei Zheng. Assistant Yang, please leave immediately. Wei Zheng's face darkened when he saw the woman still standing there shamelessly, and his tone was no longer polite, if you don't leave, I will have to ask the security guards to drive you away. The woman was still there, looking at Mo Yesi blankly. Wei Zheng frowned and saw Mo Yesi's face became gloomier again. He no longer hesitated and immediately called the security guard. Then he said directly, take Assistant Yang down and inform the front desk. She is not allowed to come up again in the future. The security staff are quick and efficient. As soon as Wei Zheng finished speaking, several security guards walked over, held the woman's arms on the left and right, and forced her into the elevator nearby. The woman was still struggling, let me go, what are you doing? I'm here to discuss business with Mr. Mo, why do you treat me like this? Let me go. Mr. Mo, how could you do this to your partner? Let me go, let me go. Soon, the elevator door closed. The woman's voice gradually disappeared. Mr. Mo. Wei Zheng watched the woman leave, turned around, and said apologetically, I really didn't expect Assistant Yang to come up to you. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2079. Chapter 2079. This means you care about me. I told her that Mr. Mo would never see her again, but I didn't expect that she would still. Mr. Mo, this matter is my negligence. If Mr. Mo wants to punish me, I will admit it. Wei Zheng really didn't expect Assistant Yang to be so thick-skinned. He had made his words clear enough today, but she still came up to see Mr. Mo. Moreover, it was still when the young lady was there. No wonder President Mo is so angry. If the young lady misunderstands and makes the young madam unhappy because of this matter, then the matter will be serious. Mo Yesi's face was still calm and he gave him a cold look. I can't blame you completely. Let's forget it this time. If something like this happens again next time, I won't spare you. Yes, Mr. Mo. Wei Zheng reached out to wipe the cold sweat from his forehead and said hurriedly, I promise that this kind of thing will never happen again. Replace Assistant Yang. Mo Yesi frowned and said, let someone else come over to discuss the cooperation with Shen Yuan. Yes, Mr. Mo, I will call Director Chen from Shen Yuan immediately. A ding sound. The special elevator that Mo Yesi took arrived. Mo Yesi didn't say anything more and led Jiao Mian into the elevator. Waiting until the elevator door closed, Wei Zheng once again wiped the cold sweat from his forehead outside the elevator. Shit. He was almost killed by that woman, Assistant Yang. In the elevator, Mo Yesi looked at Jiao Mian, who was silent from beginning to end, and waited for a while, but still didn't wait for her to ask him. Himself, he couldn't help it. Baby, do you have anything to ask me? He asked proactively. Jiao Mian then raised her head and looked at him. No. Mo Yesi. Really not. Jiao Mian thought about it seriously and shook her head. Really not. Jiao Mian looked like nothing was wrong, but Mo Yesi was no longer calm. He frowned. You don't need me to explain to you. Explanation. Jiao Mian looked at him and blinked. After a while, she finally realized, are you talking about Assistant Yang? Mo Yesi, Jiao Mian thought for a moment and said, didn't you explain everything to me? She is just someone who has had business dealings with you, and there is nothing else. I know she is interested in you, but I also know you have no interest in her at all. So, I don't need you to explain anything to me. And I also know that you didn't allow her to come to you. It was she who had to come to you. This matter is not your fault. I am not that unreasonable people. Even if I get jealous, I won't do it unreasonably and randomly. Mo Yesi was silent for a while and sighed softly. Baby, I hope you can be unreasonable and jealous of me. Instead of being calm and rational like now. She is too calm and rational, which will make him feel that she doesn't care about him enough. Because he can be calm and rational about anything, but he can no longer remain rational about things related to her. Unless he doesn't care about her enough. Jiao Mian was stunned for a moment. If I really make trouble with you unreasonably, wouldn't you find me annoying? No. Mo Yesi reached out and rubbed her head. I will only feel happy, which means you care about me. Well, you just said that Assistant Yang should be replaced, right? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2080. Chapter 2080. This is your legal right, MRSMO. Then can I make a request? What's the request, tell me. Since we have to change, don't bring another female employee here to talk, otherwise, I'm afraid she will be the next Assistant Yang. Looking at the overly handsome face of the man next to her, Jiao Mian felt that this was entirely possible. Fortunately, she has a very conscious and well-behaved husband. It didn't worry her at all. Otherwise, she would never be able to handle the rotten peach blossoms that his face has provoked, which is probably too numerous to count. Originally, she would not have made such a request, because she felt that this request was a bit unreasonable. But since Moyesi said that just now, she doesn't have so many worries. After finishing speaking, she was still wondering if Moyesi might think she was being a little unreasonable. Okay. The next second, I heard Moyesi say with a smile, from now on, Mo will never have contact with female employees when discussing cooperation with other companies. What do you think of this? Chiao Mian Mian. She stared at Moyesi, trying to figure out what he meant. After looking at it for a while and confirming that what he said was literal, Chiao Mian Mian became a little uneasy. Isn't the request I made too excessive? It's not too much at all. Moyesi curled his lips, as if he was in a happy mood. In the future, you should make more requests like this from me. This is your legal right, MRSMO. Chiao Mian Mian. Well, she will try to be unreasonable as many times as possible in the future. Asterisk. Arrived at the agreed place. The waiter led them outside a private room. As soon as the door opened, Chiao Mian Mian heard Yan Shaoking's playful voice, after dinner, I have some program arrangements. The new beauties at the club this time are of good quality, with first-rate looks and figures. Yes, I'm all-inclusive tonight, please have a good time. Another laughing voice also rang, Yan I think you are itchy. If you want to play, you can play by yourself. I'm not interested. I came tonight with his sister-in-law. Do you think he will? Are you interested in the beauty you mentioned? Oh, you guys are really disappointing. We can't just sit in the box again tonight, that would be boring. Outside the box. Moyesi stretched out his hand to open the door, held Chiao Mian Mian in his arms and walked in. He snorted coldly and said, it's boring. I think some people have itchy skin. It's time to relieve the pain. Second brother, sister-in-law, Yan Shaoqing heard the voice and turned his head. He saw Chiao Mian Mian and Moyesi walking into the box, and immediately stood up to greet them. He said with a playful smile, second brother, am I joking? Have you ever told me something about me that I didn't listen to you? Do you think I am not following your request? I didn't bring anyone with me tonight. He looked like he was begging for praise. Like a primary school student waiting for praise from the teacher. Moyesi rolled his eyes at him, what's the matter? You seem very dissatisfied. No, Yan Shaoqing immediately shook his head and said, how dare I be dissatisfied with you, second brother? I just think it's good. It's just a few of us acquaintances having dinner together. If there are outsiders around, there are some things that shouldn't be done. Easy to say, ha ha ha. Sister-in-law, I haven't seen you for a while. My sister-in-law is getting more and more beautiful. Yan Shaoqing glanced at Chiao Mian Mian, with surprise flashing in his eyes. With Moyesi here, he didn't dare to look more, and soon looked away. End of this chapter.